Hello fellow weeds, what is good with you all? Okay, welcome back to another video where I review Chainsaw Man, which is an epic manga series by Tatsuki Fujimoto. And he has done one other series that's also pretty popular right now, and that series is called Fire Punch. And basically that's a really epic series that I'm going to be relating to with this video, so look forward to that. And so on with the video. Also, a random quick disclaimer, I kind of forgot the main character's name during the first portion of this video, and instead of calling him Denji, I called him Shinji a few times, so keep that in mind, but it's all good. Getting monotone from here. I'm not just going to be going over the most recent chapter, but I'm basically going to be going over my thoughts and opinions on the entire series and how it's been leading up to this point and where it's going to go in the future. So basically, this chapter starts out where Makima and her, basically 6 guard dogs, watch sharks, whatever, start to attack Chainsaw Man, and basically they were no match for him. And that's kind of how this chapter went, but Makima is the most interesting character in the series because she's kind of so indecisive and you never know what she really cares about. And basically, so she sent all of her guards after him, but she was just testing them basically to see their strength, and basically they were not good enough, and Chainsaw Man beat them all. And she is actually the most manipulative person ever, and she manipulated all of these other people that were with her for probably years in this organization to fight off demons, and she kind of just killed them all at once. And basically she knew this was going to happen because basically in the world of Chainsaw Man, you get an ability by either becoming a demon based on some kind of fear that somebody has, or you go stronger by making a sort of contract. And basically, since Shinji contracted with her, then he got a power upgrade. Instead of having his regular 3, he has more like 5 now. He also looks more sturdy and it has more power in it, so we'll be seeing what he can do more in the future. And I don't really know how much further we can go because there's been a lot of opponents that Shinji has been able to defeat, and I don't know what else can match him because he's kind of getting too powerful at this point. And I feel with both with Fire Punch and with Chainsaw Man, there's been a quick escalation in the stakes and the power of the enemies. In Fire Punch, for instance, it ended in 83 chapters, and today I'm reviewing Chainsaw Man chapter 87 and what came before it. So basically, Tatsuki Fujimoto has this way of escalating what the opponents and what the world and the stakes of what's happening is going to be and doing that in a very quick manner, which you normally wouldn't see. And obviously 83 weeks, a year ends in 52 weeks, so in a little over a year, he managed to make the entire story and the entire world just more crazy, worse. And he's doing the same thing in Chainsaw Man, even though it's happening a little slower now. And we've already kind of started to see what world level threats would do, the gun devil, who everyone just feared because I don't know, guns are scary. So he got more powerful and escalated until he was the most powerful devil ever, basically. So you can see how things like this are going to keep rising in the stakes, but I don't really know how Shinji's going to be able to either deal with them or just not be the one who's taking them down so easily, because as we've seen recently, he's kind of getting a major power boost by being Makima's dog. And also, another topic that I wanted to discuss that's kind of separate from this, but basically, Tatsuki Fujimoto has no problem with killing off characters, especially one that we've known for a long amount of time. And basically, they don't always get a shining and great death, but sometimes it's just kind of random, and it makes you feel sad because death can be like that. It's kind of comes at a random point, and basically we saw in Fire Punch that a lot of new characters that got introduced, they just kind of got scrapped after like 10 chapters or so, even though we thought that they were going to be important, interesting, or add something else to the story. So we've seen that before, and we've also seen that with Chainsaw Man, definitely. Like Aki's mentor, I don't remember her name right now, but she was someone that we thought were going to be important in the story and kind of help Denji get out of his like down in the dump state. And no, she died in like chapter 27, and then I've been seeing death flags for Aki as well, like the entire time. And we obviously saw that Power was also killed, which I'm gonna ride on, and hopefully she's not actually dead, but we've seen that this can happen. Like characters that we've known and loved, and Power, who was obviously like the most popular in the series, and Denji ended up all the way in 5th place. So basically, no problem killing off characters, not even like the most popular character in the entire series. And we're gonna see this in the future, because this is kind of for Denji's evolution, and basically we're seeing him escalate more and more. And basically his mentality right now is that he is no longer human, but in his mind he basically believes himself to be human, and he keeps doing things like forcing others to do things because he just has that power, but no one else sees him to be like a regular like little kid or whatever. They just see him as this raging monster that will cut off people's heads in a second if they don't do what they're told. So basically it creates an interesting dynamic between all the people that have to deal with him and him himself. And then there's Makima, who's pretending like she has to take him down, but she actually just wants him to grow stronger. But I don't know how she's going to deal with him currently, and maybe she has the power to just rein him back in and get him back to normal. Or as we've seen before, she's also very powerful in her own right, and she can kind of manipulate pretty much anything around her if she believes them to be weaker than herself. So if she believes Denji to be weaker than her, she could probably control him as well. And basically in the world of Fire Punch, there's a completely different power system from that in Chainsaw Man, and it involves a lot more creativity, whereas in Fire Punch it was a lot more basic, and basically they just had abilities like, well, I can control magnetism, or I have fire, even though sometimes it was like the fire never goes out, or I have regeneration, which is also a pretty common one. But other than that, there weren't really like much expansive powers. You pretty much had like regular humans or something that was pretty much kind of basic. And in Chainsaw Man, the powers are a lot more explicit and they're a lot different. There's a larger range because basically the Fire Punch power system, not the Fire Punch power, the Chainsaw Man power system relies on not just a regular ability, but basically it relies on fear. And so because of that, you can end up with all sorts of situations where basically instead of having something like pretty regular, you can have basically anything. Like the most powerful one was the Gun Devil, and plenty of people fear guns. Plenty of people are scared of guns. No one wants the gun pointed at their head. So yeah, that's why the Gun Devil was ended up being like the most powerful one. And in the world of Chainsaw Man, they're kind of setting up like a kind of end of the world thing, because as I said before, there's been a lot more escalation in the powers and basically what the abilities are doing and how much they're destroying. So basically we might see something where like Chainsaw Man was kind of a prologue or something to something like Fire Punch, which takes place like 300 years from now, and the two series could have more of a connection than we realize, because kind of the storytelling and the way that it escalates is very similar, or that may just be how the author writes it. And recently, as soon as like we hit chapter 87, we're starting to see more powerful threats that could actually do more to basically harm or end the world. And we can see with characters like Makima that it might actually happen, because you know how manipulative she is. And everyone basically has their own reasons for joining this organization. And some of them just end up new, and they had like a lover, family member, whatever, that died, but they don't really know how to deal with these threats. But basically other people like Makima are on it for basically their own goals, and Makima has been compared with some kind of demon, so she might just be doing it for some kind of crazy malice kind of reason, and we're probably going to see that more in the future. But that's pretty much it for this video. So if you like it, comment, subscribe, post notifications on, all that stuff. And that's pretty much it. See you in the next one. Hopefully you come back, and that's all.